Hello, beautiful people. We are here with an all-new episode of Point of View, where the biggest stories on your timeline get real talk, real opinions, and real breakdowns right here at this table. Coming up, while Sean Diddy Combs has dominated the headlines, it looks like Cassie may be next as new sexual assault lawsuits surface. Stick around, we've got the full rundown. Plus, Kamora Lee Simmons is finally speaking out about her daughter Aoki Lee's brief romance with a 65-year-old, and you don't want to miss what she said. Oh, you don't want to. Our co-hosts Shirley and Danielle are here to dive into it all with us. So pull up a seat, join the discussion. You're watching POV. A man who says he was a male escort is accusing Cassie and Diddy of coercing him into sexual encounters. Yes, and after months of trying to reach her, a judge just ruled that this lawsuit can move forward, even allowing alternate service because Cassie allegedly hasn't responded. Now remember, these are still allegations. There's no verdict. No one's right or wrong at this point. Just plausibility. Nothing has been proven. But this ruling gives him a major procedural win and pushes the case to the next stage. What does it mean when someone keeps dodging service? Could Cassie be hiding something?
No, I don't know that I think she's hiding something as much as I would only imagine that her family, her husband are burnt out. Like, to have gone through everything and then, all the Diddy documentary just coming out and then she got her lawsuit. And I'm sure at that point she thought that, she was kind of just going to be smooth sailing and then having to go through the trial and all of that. And now this is like, in a way, I almost feel like it is victim shaming to a certain extent. Like, how are you going to now say that, she coerced you when you also testified that she had to have sexual encounters with you against her will? What are you saying?
That's what I was about to say. This is a different escort than the escort that was on trial, right? Or this the same one?
This is the same guy.
So how, you were there, both in the room and in the trial, where literally you both were basically being forced to do this. And then at the end of the day, you were getting paid. And you I'm sure he signed something. And you were getting paid not once, not twice, multiple times for however long. So it's
I think the avoidance is a good idea because then she's not giving all the other people that were forced to do things while she was also forced to do things. Because then it's going to open up a can of worms that now every person that Diddy coerced into being intimate with Cassie, that Cassie never said anything, is now going to come and pursue her because Diddy's already in jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's cold on this guy to be doing that, but I feel like I recall him saying something to the effect of his friend is the one, one of his homegirls told him hey, you might as well be a male escort. I don't know if he was just promiscuous or sleeping around. It's hey, you might as well get paid for it. So this is something that he did as a business. And now, come on, pick a side, bro. You made your money. And I think what it is that he saw how much money Cassie got. And so now he's well, it was me too. But
at this point, give the money back that you got from all them freak offs. Give the money back.
Right.
It's really hard to accept this Me Too from him when he could have not shown up. Who was twisting his arm or putting, a gun to his head for him to show up. I mean, they flew him around the world.
Correct.
Right. So there was a
point. You were reaping these benefits.
Yeah. And to speak of the friend, he said that she thought that he'd be good as a gigolo. I mean, that's what I read in the contract. I was like, a gigolo? Really? This is good? So
Can't say that.
But I do understand that the law will examine, retaliation, coercion. It's still going to examine, whether money was exchanged or not. It's still going to examine those things. Were these things taking place, even though it seems like, well, not necessarily seem like he was giving consent. Yeah.
It's really interesting, but I do hope that this doesn't start a train, because we've seen it with Diddy, and I'm not saying those people were wrong.
Yeah.
'Cause at the end of the day, these people have their own trauma. They've gone through things, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But like the fact that everybody came after Diddy once Cassie did, and it was just like a domino effect.
Right.
I really hope that that doesn't happen with Cassie. Just because, and I don't know, maybe it's just a difference because it feels like Diddy was like at the head of this and was the person saying, do this, do this, do this. And we know that Cassie was a victim.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem right.
Especially because this male gigolo guy, I do remember him saying that there was an incident where he and Cassie were, having intercourse for a while, and then at, a couple hours, and then Diddy, once they stopped, said like, hey, that wasn't long enough. And at this point, it's been going on for hours. And, Cassie didn't want to continue, but, maybe they started up again because, Diddy was kind of pressuring them. So I'm not understanding how he's now trying to sue Cassie when she seemed to be in the same position that he was.
Well, he
even worse.
Like, you would think he would have some kind of
days.
compassion, to be honest.
You think
but
so?
at
He
the end of the day,
said days this
everything
was
from
going on. He was like, how do y'all stay awake like 3 days or so at a time? This
And
was
then
in a
started taking the
documentary.
drugs. And if that was the case, if they wanted him to go days or whatever and he couldn't sustain, he chose
still
to
showed
do
up.
those drugs to keep up with the money and the treatment that he was getting to stay in that situation. So
Yeah, it seems to be a lot different than her situation of really being seemingly victimized or groomed to this behavior, as opposed to him. I'm not really.
At the end of the day, he had a
feeling it to
choice.
him. Right? Yeah, he had the choice.
So I think he's spinning that the same thing that you're saying, and saying, well, Cassie also had a choice, being that she finally decided to come out with the truth.
So when I say choice, from him, I'm meaning when they approached him or whoever approached him, hey, we got this thing for you, this what it is, whoop whoop whoop. He saw money, he saw celebrity, he saw lifestyle, and he said, oh, yeah.
He wasn't a budding recording artist that's underneath Diddy's label.
No, he was that lifestyle, right? He was living that life.
Like, so he could have been like, you know
life.
what? That's a little too much for me. I'm going to respectfully decline.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, let's go.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, so you were freaked out, and then now you want money. You're like, I was forced to have sex.
What's so funny though, I think looking at his pictures in the early 2000s, is that there were such different standards of what good looking was. Because when I see him with the black tank top, the black tank top was a thing, and he had little muscles, and he didn't look as bad as he looked now.
Right. I was like, yeah.
I'm going to sip my drink.
Go right ahead. I will too.
Well, I'm sure it was Diddy's type. Now, you know what?
Moving on to our next topic. Kimora Lee Simmons is finally speaking out about her daughter Aoki Lee Simmons' brief romance with 65-year-old restaurateur Vittorio Asaf. The story first broke back in April 2024 when the pair were spotted together in St. Bart's. And Kimora says she found out at the same time the public did. Take a look.
First of all, I know this guy, but I didn't know this guy in that capacity, like with my kid, or that you were even dating my kid, or even I know this guy growing up myself. He's a restaurateur.
Right.
Like I didn't even know this was a thing. I found out when the world found out. So that was what was so shocking. Yeah. But I do think in general of those kind of things, I feel like, and having gone through not exactly the same, but similar, that big age gap relationship, let's just call it that, I do think it's predatorial.
I agree, sister.
But that's interesting she would say that because, she was young when she
wouldn't have known.
connected with Russell Simmons.
She wouldn't have known.
But now she knows.
Yeah,
because she's
younger
a mother,
her,
she's
yeah.
older, she's more mature.
Correct, yeah.
But that's interesting, though, that she's still, she wouldn't have known then, but she actually does know now. And then it's like a repeat that her daughter's doing it.
It's always interesting to me. Like, I do agree that women mature faster than men, and I'm all for dating older. But that old, I need to know what, that's beyond a sugar daddy.
Yeah.
Because, when you're relationships and sexual, that's too much.
But they know how
You're dating
to-
a senior citizen.
They know how to lay it down.
He ain't even a cute.
A 65? How would you know that?
Yeah, they do. They do.
Where do you
they
get
do.
this information?
Oh, I studied sexual wellness.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you
People
think this is
still
true?
have sex up until
Okay.
the age of 80 if it's still working.
She said he's putting it down.
So,
Okay.
he could very well still be laying it,
Oh.
and she enjoys it. My problem is I agree with the predatorial side because she looks like a little girl. Like her
Correct.
body is shaped like a little girl. She hasn't have her form yet, no curves, no nothing. She looks very youthful, and I can see that he pursued her because she looks like a little girl.
They love that.
And
Yeah.
that's where it's like, we like fine gray-haired men.
That's what I'm stressing.
But the thing about it
Yeah.
is, who's to say that he pursued her? Like, how do we know she
That
didn't
is
pursue
true.
him? Because the same way her mom was 17 and Russell was 35, and she's 21, and, Vittorio was 65, I'm sure she was also like her mom, looking for a comeback. We know that, unfortunately, they seem to be in what was almost considered financial ruin for many years. So I'm sure she was just trying to get some financial alleviation. Their dad wasn't doing anything for them, allegedly. So, I mean, hey.
I just can't imagine like kissing that. Like
That's like a 40-year difference. That's
Woo!
That's
Like
a huge difference.
even 5 years older be too much. Like I'm in the 40s now. That's too much. It's too old. 60s.
Yeah.
65 is
Please.
a little bit out there.
Yeah.
Like y'all don't even have anything in common. Y'all didn't even grow up in the same generation.
Well.
Like he could be like, oh, let's listen to this. Let's go watch this, and she has no idea what it is.
Sugar daddies come in all ages.
They figured it out.
Especially older. We have to take a quick commercial break, girlfriends. Guided Unpopular Opinion are coming up right after this. Stay tuned. You're watching POV. Welcome back. Now it's time to get into all things love, life, relationships, and everything in between. Let's get into Girlfriend's Guide. All right. So coming up, we're getting ready to discuss sisterhood. Sisterhood, why does it still matter? It does matter because some women have completely, we have lost the art of real friendships, and that's pretty sad. But social media, busy lives, and all the drama that comes with it keeps close friendships. Well, it just isn't what it used to be, right? So tonight, we're diving into what it takes to build lasting, meaningful bonds and why some friendships just fade over time.
Now, here's the thing. We have to somewhat treat friendships like relationships. With the relationship, you know, it takes work. You invest things in it. You spend time, you talk, you plan things. You have to do the same thing in your friendships, in my opinion.
It takes time. It takes effort.
In my opinion, you have to water a relationship in any form, whether that's romantic or friend, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's what I believe, and I feel like, and I mean, life does happen. Like when I get together, we planning. What about this day? What about this day? We looking at calendars. It may be a month from now, but we're trying to intentionally, like, hey, once a month, once a quarter, like something to do something to get together and just, you know, water that relationship.
But we're losing our sisterhood. Do you believe that?
There is a lot of weird things that happen. I've encountered some weird situations from people that were friends and sisters and other things. And some people, I would say, some people have been burned so much that they don't care. Or some people, I've seen a lot of people say they don't have girlfriends or people that that they really trust or they can be. And I hate that for people.
Yeah.
I don't know if sisterhood really ever really existed. Only because I'm just thinking about the generation before me. And at least in the surrounding of my community, this could be, you know, a Caribbean people problem, Haitian people problem, but they don't have friends. Like my mom didn't have friends. My best friend's mother doesn't have close friends that they consider, you know, super tight knit. My aunt, like all of these different people that I've seen in my surroundings, never really had a connected community outside of family. But in our generation and my peers and my friends, you know, we're in our early 30s, some still late 20s, some in their 40s, and we all have friends. We all have core groups of people, 6 to 5 friend groups. We hang out, we go to the movies, we go out to eat, like we're going to the club next week. Like we have that connection. And that's something that I didn't see growing up. And so I think it's growing. Okay. Or at least on my side of the world, it's growing.
Do you think that there's a possibility that maybe they didn't have like friendships like that because they had so many secrets? Because I know when I think about like, you know, my older family members and a generation before me and even before them, you know, they were brought up that what happens in the house, what happens in the family stays in the family. And so I feel like maybe they weren't able to be vulnerable enough to even risk having a friend to even, you know, have someone or extra eyes on all these things that no one can know.
Sometimes I wonder what the actual reason is, because I'm first generation. So the people before me had just came to this country and they gave me the opportunity to be here. So I don't really understand the decision making behind not having friends, because most people who come from the Caribbean, they come alone and then they bring family later. So in my life, it was my mom came, she was here for like 10 years, somebody else came in 10 years later. You know, so I don't really know where the connection and the tie to, I'm not going to create my own friend group. I have a suspicion, and the suspicion is heartbreak from a friend, right? So I've experienced heartbreak, but I haven't let it stop me from making new friends. It actually fueled me to make better decisions about who I have in my inner circle. It made me make better decisions on what information I'm willing to share with people and who I decide to be vulnerable with. And so now I have like 2 people that I'm vulnerable with, and other people, we could talk about everything. I'm just not going to sit here and share my deepest, darkest secrets with you. And so I guess I made that conscious decision to do that, whereas other people may not.
I also think too that one of the issues seem to be with so many things, you know, relationally that we go through in life, that the definition is so warped almost on everything now. And so I feel like even in building and cultivating like stronger friendships, I feel like it's so important to find people that have the same value and definition of a thing desire, as you. You know, like maybe we need to lay this out and say, hey, you know, I'm working on building a friendship with you. This is what I think friendship is. What defines friendship for you?
I'll be honest and say that recently happened. I've had like 4 people who would reach out to me and who's like, yeah, I'd love to be your friend. I said, now, you want to be my friend? I'm not the kind of friend that you think. I'm the one that cries on shoulders. I'm the one that's like, oh my gosh, I miss my mom. She's not here anymore, and I'm still thinking about her. So you got to be emotionally available in order for us to be friends. And there's a lot of women who do not have the emotional capacity to cope with friendship, let alone be there for another person. And so once I got into my early 30s, making new friends, it just didn't happen because people don't have the emotional capacity to be here for people.
I read that. It said like a lot of women just don't have the time. They don't have the time to really be there. It's the touch and go friendship.
Yeah, no, I'm
you
not
know,
that
not
girl.
the touch and stay. Yeah, we gonna stay in it, right?
Everybody's definition of friend is not the same either.
Yeah. That's
And,
why
some,
you have
and
to
then
find
you have
on the same
friends that
page.
are different kinds of friends, like you said. You have some like I believe in having relationships and friendships of all types. So you got your club friends, you got your church friends, your school friends, you like
And you don't
different
mix them
circles.
together.
Sometimes you can. It really depends. You got to know your people.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with having those different avenues. And your church friend may not be the person. I mean, not your church friend. Your club friend may not be the person that you can church with or have pray for you.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're interchangeable.
Yeah. Sometimes they said it was social media too, because you can get on there and say, oh, my friend's doing good. I see all the things she's doing. And then you don't feel like you really necessarily have to get together.
Yeah.
Wow. Moving into our final segment of the day, let's get into unpopular opinion. Social media is where people share their raw, unfiltered thoughts. We found a few posts, and now we're diving into some unpopular opinions to share our take. Dominique Shin says, perfection doesn't exist. So if a person has flaws that can be worked out, figure out how to make it work because it's a jungle out here.
I'm 50-50 with that one. I get it, and I do believe that perfection is really close to unattainable. But I don't know. Some of them flaws, baby, you got to take them for what they is, baby, and keep it pushing.
Look, it depends on the flaws.
I live by the statement, but perfection is low self-esteem wrapped up in someone being a high achiever. But really, when you're striving for perfection, it means that you're not confident in whatever you're deciding to do, because everything you should do should be enough. And if you do anything more, you're not confident in the decision that you're making. So I agree that perfection doesn't exist, but people constantly pursue it because the world makes them feel like they're not enough.
Man, that's a heavy one. I'm gonna have to sit with that.
Winter is coming wrote, dating today is a financial liability as a man, especially to actually have an experience.
Didn't we say that last time when we were like, dating is
Relationships don't
expensive?
benefit men no more.
They don't, though.
They said that marriage would decline the moment marriage started to be beneficial to women, because the only reason why there was tons of it is because it used to benefit men more. He talking. He talking.
We talked about that before. Dating is expensive.
Now it's a liability.
Wow.
Intriguing.
Lavon Bell wrote, COVID was the downfall of customer service and the restaurant industry. I don't know about that one.
I'm not.
I don't know if downfall is the right word, but there was a shift. And not every restaurant in every place.
Oh.
You want to say customers? I think the downfall is that they don't have quality food anymore because we're in
We're in a situation.
we ain't got no food.
You know what? I may have to agree, because there is a local wing shop that I went to a few months ago, honey, and I ripped them people a new one. You know me?
Period.
Okay, because first of all, it was an Asian wing shop. You know, they let us sell some chicken wings and some weave, okay? And we be going there to get it. But everyone was raving about this place. I went there and the lights were off. I mean, I thought they were closed. And there's 5-6 people lined up before me. All of the seats were flipped on top of the table. And I'm asking them, are you guys open? And
I know where you was.
Okay. And they're like, yeah, we're open. I'm like, well, you know, are the seats up? Like, did you guys just mop? And they said, baby, that the seats had been flipped since COVID.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow.
I ain't gonna say what I said because we gotta move on. But yeah.
The restaurant industry is failing because people ain't got no money. We could be
That too though.
Yeah, y'all don't got no money anymore, so y'all not going out. Y'all cooking TV dinners.
And then
it's
we thinking cooking and grocery shopping is cheaper when in fact it's really not.
It's the same thing now.
All right, we have one here. I don't know. You all read that and figure that one out. Unpopular opinion. Marriage only benefits a woman when the man is truly capable of leading, providing, and protecting. Otherwise, she's just adding responsibility to a life she already manages alone. Oh, now I'm going to drink.
Yeah, if I can do everything by myself,
What's the point?
and then you come in and you just make me do more for you.
Could have had a V8.
I think I'm a little bit lost in the fact that she said only when a man is truly capable, because what you're capable of has nothing to do necessarily with what you're actually doing.
Talk
There's
about
a difference
it.
between action versus thinking.
Yeah, because he can be capable
it.
and it still not be beneficial to the woman because he's not actually doing it.
Clock
Correct.
it.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
There you have it. All right. And a lot of people stuck in life simply because they are mean, unpleasant, and unlikable. Instead of addressing this, they will blame everyone else but themselves.
Absolutely. And if it's everybody, you're the problem. Everybody can't be.
That's right.
It's you.
If you're the common denominator, right?
It's you.
That's a wrap for today's episode. Thanks for hanging out with us on POV. And don't you forget, catch us Monday through Friday only on Afro TV.